Moving on to leg cramps. Leg cramps, it really varies. I had trouble with leg cramps during one of my pregnancies, not the others. It really varies for women whether they're having them or not. Oftentimes, leg cramps are caused by a deficiency in magnesium. And so if you're having muscle problems with muscle cramps at all, eating more magnesium rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, almonds, cashews, and pumpkin seeds are some of the nuts and seeds that have the most magnesium in them. Fish like halibut or mackerel are also excellent sources of magnesium. Certain beans and avocados and yogurt are excellent sources of magnesium. Bananas contain both magnesium and potassium, so they're also a wonderful source. With leg cramps, there's a couple things to know. The first is if you get a leg cramp, this is usually how you find out that you're having leg cramps, is you get a leg cramp, and if you don't catch it early enough, you can really get it cramped up where the muscles knotted. And so if you feel any kind of pain or cramping happening in your legs, what you want to do is extend your leg and bring your toe up towards your knee so that you're extending the muscles. To cramp, if you actually have your toe pointed, your muscle can cramp and really knot up, and it can be very painful. So the way to deal with it, if this happens particularly at night, sometimes when you're sleeping at night, your toes are pointed and you can wake up with a leg cramp. And so what you want to do immediately is to extend your leg and bring your toe up to stop the cramp in progress. So heel down, toe up towards your knee. Stand on the affected leg, stand on the leg, and if the cramp is in your calf, do a half squat with your heel on the ground. That will extend your calf muscle and stretch that muscle out to prevent or reverse a cramp. If you really get a bad leg cramp where the muscle really is knotted, you might actually need to take the knuckles on your hands, and actually just kind of, or have your partner do this, stretch your leg out and then take your knuckles and really dig them in directly into where it's cramped and kind of rub it around to get it to loosen up. You want to do all of this as quickly as possible because the longer you have a leg cramp, the worse it is. So once you know that you're having leg cramps, and also to prevent them, there are a couple important things that you need to do. First, you need to make sure you're eating magnesium rich foods. You can tell by the list of foods I've already mentioned that if you're eating, a healthy diet like we've discussed already with the dark leafy greens and the fish and yogurts and avocados, that you're less likely to have leg cramps to begin with. Foods rich in calcium are also known to help prevent them, as well as the magnesium. You want to make sure that your salt intake is adequate. So if you are having trouble with leg cramps, consider increasing the amount of sea salt that you're consuming, because that can actually help with your mineral balance. It's like a mineral electrolyte imbalance. A couple other things you can do from an exercise perspective is you can try cat stretch that we've talked about, and just kind of rocking back and forth, arching your back and then relaxing it back down. That actually helps improve the circulation through your legs and back, and as well as squatting. Squatting actually helps because it's stretching out the calf muscles that are the typical one that tries to cramp on you. Sitting cross-legged can also help, or diamond sit. That will actually stretch out. If you sit in the diamond position with your heels together and you actually pull back on your toes, you're actually stretching your hamstrings and your calves at the same time. That can be very useful, and if you develop a cramp, that position can be very useful. Lastly, sleeping with your legs slightly elevated can help for certain women, so that's something else to consider. As always, make sure you're not overdoing your exercise, but do include a lot of movement in your day, walking, not standing with your legs locked, and make sure you're drinking plenty of water. Those are all actions you can take to make it unlikely that you're going to get leg cramps and prevent them. From the point of view of essential oils, lavender oil is very helpful, along with cypress can be very helpful as well. And so just, soaking your feet in a warm bath with geranium oil, lavender oil and cypress oil can be very helpful, as well as just rubbing lavender oil or peppermint oil into your calves from time to time. Prevent leg cramps. So there's one more thing, a couple more things that I just wanted to mention, and that is for leg cramps. I mentioned magnesium is really important. And so one of the things that several of my pregnant students have been trying more recently is if they're really having trouble with leg cramps, one of the problems is trying to take any kind of oral magnesium can either cause you to get diarrhea or get constipated. That's not a good thing. And your digestion, as we've spoken about already, while you're pregnant does not work as well, and so it's harder for your body to absorb nutrients, including minerals. And so one of the things that has helped a couple ladies that I wanted to mention is magnesium oil. Ancient Minerals has a good one. It doesn't have any heavy metal contamination or anything in it, but magnesium oil is a transdermal magnesium supplement. So it means you apply it to your skin, and it goes through your skin very easily, bypasses your whole gastrointestinal tract, so you don't have to digest it through your intestines, and it can be absorbed very rapidly into your cells, and help with leg cramps. And so if you're having trouble with digestion and you're having leg cramps, and this is a great way for you to be able to get some magnesium into your system to stop that, to provide your body with the magnesium it needs. Anyhow, so particularly if you're having leg cramps and also morning sickness and just general trouble digesting food because of the pregnancy hormones, something else to know is that our food supply is actually deficient in magnesium, mainly due to conventional farming. And so conventional farming practices have stripped the magnesium out of the soil. And so a lot of the typical foods that have magnesium have lower levels of magnesium than they used to in the past. That just increases our need for magnesium supplementation while pregnant. So I wanted to mention that because that's really been very helpful for women that are having trouble with leg cramps and haven't been able to resolve the problem otherwise.